in pieces. I don't like that sound. I thought at first it was just a break-in. I had it for 2 weeks and it actually got worse. That's why I thought something was wrong until I got a brand new one that's doing the same thing. So I want your thoughts on this. Should I just deal with it? Because if I'm on a job and I hear stuff like that, I'm thinking, dude, you need to go get a new tool. That's where you break. And that's the way it's supposed to sound? I don't know, Dwell. I'm going to give you guys 2 weeks. Give me some input and I'll post whatever, you know, the good, the bad, and weigh it in. I'll go from there. But I'm really leaning towards just taking this whole damn thing back to get rid of it and just getting a Milwaukee. I know that's a good product. I don't have any issues like that. But I'm telling you, the drill I don't like. But the impact driver, I like a lot. And I told you on one of my reviews, because you're not, you know, I told you wear my stuff in the bag as long as possible. I like my tools clean, so I'm kind of anal about that. This only has one light, but the DeWalt impact driver got 3, and it lights the area up much better, and I really like that. I just don't like this. So I may end up taking this back. Unfortunately, I'm going to be paying just as much as I paid for all of this just for the impact driver. So I don't know. I'm going to go down and talk a little bit more and look at the Milwaukee a little bit more. And I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to give you 2 weeks to weigh in and let me know what you think, the goods and the bad, and your experiences. And then I'm going to make my decision. But I'm really leaning about taking it back. Personally, I don't like that noise. It just bugs the heck out of me. So, appreciate you watching. Like I said, please send me the feedback. Let me know what your thoughts are. And I'm going to go from there. But I don't know. I don't like that. Sounds like it's about ready to break. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Get out there, be creative. And again, let me hear your feedback.
I shall purge your evil.
Good idea. Not enough energy.
Hi, I'm Ted, and this is the DeWalt 20-volt max lithium-ion drill driver kit. It's a special buy. It's got the drill driver, 2 batteries, a charger, and a little bag to put them in. It's brand new, and we're going to do a review. So take a look and see what's inside. Batteries are compact, like that. And a charger.
Now that was well done.
According to the instructions, we have to charge the batteries first.
Hey everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing Bosch's brand new DDB 181 compact drill driver.
Now what this is an 18 volt drill that basically is the same size and weight as a 12 volt drill. It comes in at just about 3 pounds, but it has those real nice features that you want to see, like a 1/2 inch chuck, 2 different speed settings, an LED light, and it will accept all the other Bosch 18 volt battery packs. So if you get one of the kits, it's going to come with these 1.5 amp hour compact battery packs, but that's to save on the cost as well as the weight. So if you have other battery packs, you can slap those right on here, and it's going to power this exactly the same way. So what I'm going to do in this video is show you the different features of this drill, and then we're going to do a lot of different testing with it to drill through various materials to see how it actually performs. Included in the kit is going to be this nice tool bag that will stand upright on its own, and it does have a carrying handle on the top. So what we're going to do is open this up, and inside is going to be the drill as well as a 1.5 amp hour compact battery pre-installed, a second 1.5 amp hour compact battery, as well as an 18 volt battery charger. Now in the lid is going to be the product information, which will consist of the operator or owner's manual for the drill as well as the charger, and then it has the registration information that you're going to need to fill out, so you'll be qualified for the 3-year tool protection plan on the tool and a 2-year battery life guarantee on the batteries. To see how this does drilling some holes through some standard OSB, I have some spade bits. I have a 1/2 inch, a 1 inch, as well as a 1.5 inch spade bit. So what I'm going to do is put the 1/2 inch one in the chuck first. And the first hole I'm going to drill in mode 2, which is a much higher RPM. So you can see mode 2, we're going to go ahead and pop a hole in here now with the 1/2 inch. And it punched a hole right through it. I'll take that out. I'll put the 1 inch spade bit in there. And for this, I'm actually going to turn it down to mode 1, which is a lower RPM. So now the 1 inch hole, it also punched a hole right through the OSB. And then finally, we're going to try that large size, which is a 1.5 inch spade bit. And this is also going to be in mode 1. So the 1.5 inch spade bit, so the little compact drill really did a good job drilling holes through the OSB using the different size spade bits. Now I'm going to go ahead and drill some holes through a 2x4. I have a 1/4 inch bit, a 3/8 as well as a 1/2 inch bit. I'm going to be doing all these in speed setting number 2 just to see how it does, and I'm going to zoom in a little closer now so you can check it out. This is the 1/4 inch. Punched a hole right through it. Here's the 3/8. And then finally the large size, which is a 1/2 inch hole. Now let's see how it does with some 3-inch coarse thread drywall screws. So this is in speed setting 2. Sinks them below the surface, and just for comparison purposes, I'll flip it back to speed setting 1 to see the speed difference. So this is speed setting 1. Both of them had no problem, but you know, it will sink these on speed setting 2. That's what I would use it with. And then finally our last one. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's sunk them below the surface, and 3-inch drywall screws going in long ways into a 2x4. It had no problem at all. Now we're going to test and see how it's going to drill holes through some pretty thick sheet metal. This is part of an old shelving unit, and I'm going to drill 4 holes through here. The first one's going to be a 1/8 inch hole. And all of these holes I'm going to drill on speed setting number 1, which is going to be 400 RPMs. That's a lot better to do when you're drilling through metal because it's going to save your bits. So the first hole is going to be 1/8 inch. Popped it right through there, and really with no effort at all. Now we're going to move up to the 1/4 inch. Still on speed setting number 1. I'm not going to use the same hole. I'm going to drill another hole next to it. It popped it right through there, and if you notice, the LED light on the base of the unit does light up what it's drilling through. So you can see how it's lighting up this entire area, really nice, and it really makes it easy to line up your hole. So I'm going to pop that out of there now. Now we're going to move up to a 3/8 inch. And if you drill through metal, make sure you're wearing safety glasses because little chips of metal and slivers do go flying everywhere. And they also fall near your feet. So don't ever drill metal if you're in flip-flops or something. Make sure you have shoes on. So now we're moving up to the 3/8. And one thing I want to point out, I'm drilling through this dry. I'm not using any cutting fluid, which you typically would do if you're drilling through metal, but for the purposes of just demonstrating it drilling through the material, I'm not using any cutting fluid. And then finally, we're going to use the big bit, which is a 1/2 inch bit, and we'll see if it'll pop a hole through the metal also. Yep, we just popped a 1/2 inch hole through there, and the drill's still going strong. Now let's try and punch some holes through this sheet metal with some thin wall hole saws. So first I'm going to start out with a 3/4 inch one.
I seek for the glory of the high heavens.
Popped it right out. We'll move up to a 1 inch.
Give a shot.
Pop that one right out, and then the biggest size I have is a 1.5 inch. So you can see if you're an electrician or HVAC tech how using thin wall hole saws will be able to punch holes right through sheet metal and leave a burr-free finish. So now you've seen Bosch's brand new DDB 181 for yourself. And like I said, this is an extremely comfortable drill to use. That's actually my favorite feature about all of Bosch's drills and their impacts, are that the handles and the grips are very comfortable. And you know, I have very large hands, so it's not a tremendous difference for me. But for someone with a medium size or even a small size hand, you really want to look at the Bosch lineup of tools because these are probably going to be a lot more comfortable for you to use than other manufacturers. Now this does have a belt clip on the side, and I set this up for right-handed use, but it has another hole on the other side. You can just take the screw out, move the belt clip to this side, and then it would be set up for left-handed use. The two different speed settings, speed number 1 being 0 to 400 RPMs, and then speed setting number 2 is going to be 0 to 1300 RPMs. It does have 20 different clutch settings that you can adjust just by turning this collar. So if you're trying to sink a screw and you don't want to have a chance of stripping it out or sinking it too far below the surface, that's why you would use that. Now overall, I really like this little drill. It's by far not the most high-end one there is, but for a basic all-around drill that's especially very lightweight, it makes a lot of sense to have in your toolbox. Now they do have the 3-year ProVantage protection plan with this, and that's going to be on the tool as long as you register it. So if you have a problem in the first 3 years, you can get that fixed, and then the batteries are covered by a 2-year ProVantage plan. So if you pick up one of these, make sure you register it with Bosch so you'll be protected. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching.
Hello, I'm Roger Bisbee and welcome to another Skill Builder tool test. I'm back in my shed again and today I'm looking at 18 volt cordless combis. Now these are the standard drills of many a tradesperson, all singing, all dancing. And every manufacturer's report I've ever seen claims that their drill knocks the socks off the competition. But hang on, they can't all be telling the truth. So what I'm going to do is run these drills up against each other over a variety of different tasks to find out which one comes out best. So there we are, that's the drilling and the screw driving over and done with. All those tests have been done and you just saw a tiny sample of what we were doing there, but believe me, it took a long time. No wonder manufacturers don't tend to put their drill up against all the competition over a wide variety of tasks, because when you've driven 800 screws in on one battery charge alone and then you've got to do the same thing again, starts to get to you. But in the end we got a winner, and here it is, the Milwaukee 18 volt fuel. So what have we got? It's an 18 volt drill, it runs on a 4 amp hour battery and it has a brushless motor. It's got a metal gearbox which actually makes it a little bit heavier than the competition. It comes in just over the 2 kilos, but it's a very chunky, robust bit of kit. Also, I like the side handle, which instead of clamping around the bezel or somewhere like that, actually clamps on top of the gearbox to grip the strongest part of the drill where the work's going on, which is actually that metal chunk in the middle there. So that's a good design. What we found with this drill is that across the broad range of tasks on an elimination test, it lasted longer than the others. But where it really comes into its own, where it really excelled, was on the heavier duty drilling tasks and screw driving tasks. When the sizes went up, the diameter of the screws went up, or when the holes got larger, this really came into its own. And it was the only one that was able to complete that auger test, to drive that auger through 3 thicknesses of softwood. None of the other drills managed to do that. So that's why it achieved the best in test mark, and we're giving this 4 stars. And now the Makita is running on a 3 amp hour battery rather than the 4 amp hour battery of the competitors. So it was never going to give you the same kind of run time as the other. It's a good lightweight drill. It's actually no lighter than the DeWalt, and you don't get the 4 amp hour run time on it. And also it got marked down because it doesn't have a fuel gauge on it. If you want to know how much life is left in that battery, you have to put it onto the charger, and then the charger plays you a little tune, a couple of beeps to tell you how much is in there. Now I don't like that because it means on a noisy building site you may not hear that little beep, and also it means you've got to run back to the charger to see if you've got enough juice left in the battery. So for me, that's something Makita needs to improve. Makita's a good brand. If you like it and you like the fact it's lightweight, it's a brushless motor, and if you're willing to put up with a 3 amp hour run time, then not a bad drill at all. The Bosch, slightly disappointing in its run time, in its performance, even on the 4 amp hour battery. Now all this I can put down to the fact that it uses a brushed motor rather than the new brushless technology. So what that proves to us is that brushless motors do give you more run time, they do give you more power. And so if you've got a 4 amp hour battery and you've got a brushless motor, you're going to get more out of it. Bosch have set great store in their Core Pack battery system, what they've done here is they've mounted the cells inside there with air gaps in between them to take away the heat from the battery and therefore give it a longer life. That's something they're really pushing at the moment, and whether that makes any practical difference I don't know, because I didn't detect an awful lot of heat on the other batteries, I must say. Where we tended to get the heat was around the motor and the gearbox. But anyway, that's the Bosch for you, 4 amp hour battery, brush technology. So both these drills are marking hard, they're getting 2 stars each. Next up we've got the DeWalt. Now this is a very lightweight drill, it's powerful, it's got a brushless motor, it's compact, and it has a light battery. DeWalt use this XR, extra runtime battery system, and it certainly kicks out the power. The only place that it really fell down for me was on the larger tasks. It didn't do quite so well as the Milwaukee when it came to the heavier duty screw driving and also the auger test. It didn't quite have the torque to do that job. So this we're giving 3 stars. And finally, we've got the Metabo. Now the Metabo has got a 5 amp